Hello students, welcome to KANISHKA IAS Academy. In the module of environment and ecology, today we will be discussing about formation of fossil fuels. Already we have discussed about coals, today we will be discussing about formation of fossil fuels. Yeah. So in the previous class we discussed about coal. See how coal was formed. Coal was formed by the complete burning of the trees. See, coal was formed in the Pangaea, that means before Carboniferous period we are having Pangaea. In the Pangaea coal was formed, right. So once Pangaea got divided, now coal is differentiated, that is coal is divided into on all the continents. That means we find coal in almost every continent. In the same way, even fossil fuels were formed in the time of Pangaea, right. That means formation of coal and formation of fossil fuels, right. This coal and fossil fuels are very important non-renewable resources. So already we have the clarity. What is the clarity? A resource which cannot be reused again, that means we cannot use it again, then that will be called as a non-renewable source. So in the non-renewable source, the primary source is coal and the secondary source will be fossil fuel. Presently all our generations are depending on coal and fuel, particularly for electricity we are depending on coal, and for transportation, that is for fuel we are depending on fossil fuel, right. That is why almost every country is propagating and they are promoting the electric vehicles, right, to reduce the consumptions, because fossil fuels will be generating something called as pollution. In the same way, coal also generates something called as pollution. So in this condition, we should know how exactly the fossil fuels are formed, right. Even fossil fuels are formed in the same way as the coal has been formed right now. So in the examination point of view, particularly when we are targeting civils and particularly when we are targeting prelims, see, linking of the subject will be very important. Now, so in the fossil fuels, so what happened? Same like coal, these fossil fuels are formed because of the combustion, right, inside the earth. So what happened? So there was a land, on the land there were all the animals, right. We are having the animals, there were no human beings, there are all the animals and the fauna which is present, right. So in this condition, this land was completely filled by the water. So this theory can be related to the mythology, right. So even in the Indian mythology, even in the Jewish mythology, which are the two oldest mythologies. So in the Indian mythology, we have something called as Matsya Avtaram, that is in the Dashavtaram of Vishnumurti. We have the first avatar, that is the incarnation of the fish, right. In the incarnation of the fish, what we will be studying? We will be studying that Lord Indra got angry and Lord Indra submerged earth into the water. That means there was rain, there was continuous rain, complete earth got submerged, right. So that means earth was filled with the water. In the same way, in the Jewish mythology, in the Jewish tradition also, we have a story called as Noah and his ark, right. So in the time of Noah, again God was angry. God was angry on the people, so God sent rain. So in the both mythologies, the concept is they are explaining that earth is drenched by the water. Earth was completely drenched by the water. So in this condition, so what happened? Water came to the earth. When water came to the earth, all the animals which are living, they died because of the suffocation and they were lying on the ground. So as this water was staying on the ground, so what happened? On this fauna, dead fossils. So dead fauna will be called as fossil. On this fossil, there is a formation of the stone. So again the same story continues. That means here we are having a stone like this. Inside the stone we are having fossils, and this is a permeable stone. Permeable stone means this is allowing smoke to escape, right. Again on top of this, again we are having a stone, here we are having a stone, here we are having a stone, on the bottom we are having a bedrock, right. So in between them we are having this fossil, So what happened? This condition, what is the famous condition? Famous condition is pressure is inversely proportional to temperature. Normal condition, pressure is directly proportional to temperature. Abnormal condition. So in the abnormal condition, so what happens? Pressure will be increasing, temperature will be increasing. When pressure became equal to temperature, right. So what happened? There was an explosion. When there was an explosion, again this thing started burning. All these fossils started burning. When this fossil started burning, as they are the dead organic matter which will be consisting of fat. See, trees may not consist of the fat like us, but this organic matter, they consist of fat, right. So what happened? When they started burning, this fat which is inside, so the fat which is inside the fossils, what happened? This fat started burning. When this fat started burning, all the crude, all the debris, they got settled in the form of the liquid, right? Because there is something called as fat, and this fat settled in the form of liquid, and the gas and the smoke which got escaped, it escaped into the upper position. So here we will be having the here we will be having the gas, and here we will be having the liquid. This liquid will be called as crude oil, and this will be called as CNG. What is CNG? Compressed natural gas. That means whenever we are drilling the fossil fuels out, first we will be encountering with the CNG, then we will be getting the crude oil. Initially this CNG was not discovered, right? See, the discovery of CNG was an accident. Initially we have the technology, we have the knowledge about fossil fuels, we are digging fossil fuels. When we are digging fossil fuels, accidentally there was a fire burnout, accidentally there was a fire accident. When there was fire accident, then we came to know that we are having something called as CNG. Why we did not discover CNG? CNG is formless and odorless gas. CNG is formless and odorless gas. As it is compressed for many years, it became odorless and formless. So we cannot feel the presence of this CNG, right? So when we are distilling, when we are extracting this crude oil, first we will be extracting the CNG, then we will be extracting something called as crude oil. This crude oil is nothing but fossil fuel. So like coal, even this formation of this fossil fuel, even the formation of this crude oil, why it is called as fossil fuel? Because oil which is extracted from the fossil, right? It is just like, see, all the organic matter, all the animals, all the things. For example, when we are eating some non-vegetarian food, for example, see, I am linking this to be geographical indicator. Presently we do not have this as a geographical indicator, but for Andhra Pradesh, in Andhra Pradesh there is a famous dish called as bamboo chicken. There is a very famous dish called as bamboo chicken. It is famous from the past, even from the time of the kings. This dish is very famous, right? Presently it is not in geographical indicator. The state has been applied for geographical indicator, but still bamboo chicken did not become geographical indicator. What is the greatness of this bamboo chicken? The greatness of bamboo chicken is bamboo. The tribals used to eat this, right? Tribals will get bamboos from the forest and they will be stuffing all the chicken. They will be stuffing all the chicken, whatever meat or whatever food they are eating. They will be stuffing everything into this bamboo, and this bamboo will be thrown into the fire. Right? That is, they are not adding any oil. They'll be adding the ingredients, like they'll be adding salt and other taste makers. They are not adding any oil. But when we take this chicken, when we take this bamboo out of this out of the fire and let it cool, this bamboo chicken will be having oil. From where this oil is coming? This oil is extracted from the meat or the flesh which we have kept stuffed in this bamboo. Same when we are cooking in our houses also, before cooking this non-vegetarian, will be not using any oil, right? We'll be using very little amount of oil. But when we completed the dish, when we complete the curry, there will be more amount of oil. From where this oil is coming? That oil which is present in the flesh. In the same way, the same thing happened. That became something called as crude oil. From this crude oil, we will be exploring petroleum. See, this we can call this as fossil fuel. Why we are calling this as fossil fuel? Fossil fuel because a fuel which is extracted from fossil. That means a fuel which is taken from the fossil. That is why it is called as a fossil fuel. As it is in the raw form, it is called as crude oil. As it is in the raw form, it is called as crude oil. This crude oil will be fractionally distillated. I will be discussing what fractional distillation is. When this fractionally distillated, then we will be getting something called as petroleum. The first product is petrol. That is why this will be called as petroleum fuels. Even this will be called as a petroleum fuel. So, fossil fuel, crude oil, petroleum gases or petroleum fuel, everything is same. They are the different names in the nomenclature. Am I clear? So, fossil fuel, crude oil and petroleum fuels, everything is same. Why we are calling this as petroleum? Because when this crude oil is fractionally distillated, then we will be getting first product which will be coming out, that will be called as petrol. So, we will be calling this as a petroleum oil. Now, what exactly is the fractional distillation? This is how the petrol is extracted. So, this is what actually happens. Plant and animal depends, and then we will be taking the gas. Now, so what is fractional distillation? What exactly is the fractional distillation? Fractional distillation is heating a particular product fractionally. Fractionally means different modules, different fractions. That means I will take a crude oil, right? We are taking a crude oil. So, we are taking a crude oil. We are heating crude oil at a particular temperature. Let us think the temperature will be A. At particular temperature, we are heating this crude oil. When we heat this crude oil, a product, see whatever smoke, whatever steam will be coming, we will be collecting the steam. The steam is collected. When the steam is collected, steam is collected in another jar. This product is evaporated at a particular temperature called as A. So again, when I will increase the temperature, I will increase the temperature to the B. What will happen? Again, steam will be coming. This will be collected. This will be perforately collected in another beaker. So at the temperature B, again I am getting another product called as, let us think, X. This will be Y. This will be X. Again I am increasing the heat. Again I am heating in the other. I am heating the same crude oil. I am heating the same crude oil at particular temperature. At particular temperature, different products are distillated. This process is called as distillation. So exactly to understand what distillation is, see, this is what the survival skill. I am giving the example of the distillation. There is a very ancient survival skill. For example, if people were lost in the forest, how they are drinking the water? See, in the forest we cannot directly drink the river water, because directly drinking river water may lead to diarrhea and even it may lead to the death. So what our ancestors, when they are traveling the forest, they used to collect the river water and they used to heat it, right? When we will see, when the water is collected, and when we are heating it, I will arrange an artificial technology to collect this steam. So whenever I am heating this water, the steam will be collected to this particular, let us think it is a plastic wrapper or something, right? So it will be collected, it will be plastic wrapper or a leaf, the steam will be collected here. As it is in the inclined position, the steam will be crawling through this leaf and it will be falling into a beaker. So here I am collecting, this will be the purest form of water. This will be the purest form of water, because when we are heating, all the sedimentation, all the impurities will be settled in the bottom, only steam will be evaporated, only water will be evaporated. The evaporated water will be called the purest form of water. This process is called as distillation. This is how the survival technique was there in the ancient times. In the ancient times, this is how we should survive in the forest. Never drink direct waters directly from the rivers, because they may lead to diarrhea. Why they may lead to diarrhea? In the upper streams, there may be animal, dead animal, there may be many impurities in this river water. So never drink river water directly. We should heat it, we should boil it. This is what our ancestors used to do. In the same way, the same fractional distillation is practiced here. So first we are heating the crude oil at a particular temperature. First we will be getting a product called as X, then we will be getting a product called as Y, then we will be getting a product called as Z, right? So in this condition, so when we keep on heating, there are the different products which are coming. So the first product which we will be getting, that product is petrol. The first product after fractional distillation, that means when we heat at the first particular temperature, the first product is petrol. So that is why we call this as an petroleum gas. So again we are heating at different temperatures, we will be having different petroleum products. So first we will be getting petrol. This petrol is used for the cars and automobiles. That is why in our daily activities, petrol cars are more valuable. Petrol cars are like normally family owns a petrol car more rather than a diesel. Family owns a petrol car, right? Why? Because petrol doesn't emit any pollution, as it is the first product. As petrol is the first product to come, it doesn't have any impurities. Very important for the examination. See, never a petrol car will be giving you black smoke. How much of more acceleration you give to the car, it doesn't give a black smoke. Just imagine a diesel car and a petrol car, right? So more and more acceleration for the diesel car, you will get more and more smoke in a black color. But petrol car never gives you the smoke. Why it never gives you the smoke? Because petrol is the cleanest product. Petrol is the cleanest product, it doesn't have any impurities. So as we increase temperature, as we will get more and more products, impurity starts increasing. So going from the petrol, gasoline, naphtha, kerosene, diesel, fuel and residue, even the color of the product will be changing. Normally, as we know, petrol will be in a rough brown color, diesel will be in greenish blue color, same as the kerosene will also be in the greenish blue color, and coal, that is now what we call it as damper will be in the black color. That means the first product which we will be getting, that will be in the brown color. As the impurities increase, even the color of the product will be changing. So this is how it will be going. So first we will be getting gasoline, that is petrol. After gasoline we will be having naphtha. After naphtha we will be having kerosene. After kerosene then we will be having diesel oil. After diesel oil we will be having fuel oil. Then residue. This residue will be called as bitumen. The final product when we will get by the fractional distillation, the final product of the fractional distillation of the crude oil, that is called as bitumen. Bitumen is nothing but our damper. Bitumen is nothing but our damper, even we will be calling as tar. This is used for roads. This damper is used for roads. So this is how the petroleum products are distillated. So by this what we have understood? We have understood there are two important non-renewable resources. One will be coal, second will be petrol, right? So as we are using them, so coal is again impossible to regenerate, even petrol is impossible to regenerate, because it happens by the nature's wish. So again, if in order to have coal and petroleum, again there should be nature's miracle. Without nature's miracle, we cannot produce these fossil fuels and coal. So in the concept of sustainable development, particularly in the examination point of view, while you are preparing for UPSC examinations, concept with the connecting current affairs, with the linking current affairs is important. Even concept with the linking other subjects is also important. So here we linked this subject for the many other aspects. We linked for history and other things, right? So in the same way, when we are preparing, as there are the general topics, linkage of the subject is very important, right? So please do follow this channel, do subscribe the channel, and please follow for the more good videos. Thank you.